If you want it, you can grab it with your hands. Nothing's out of reach. If you really want something, if you need it, you can grab it with your hands. Nothing's out of reach. If you really want something.
Hello all you wonderful people out there, welcome to Jamaican Experience. My name is Gabi and today I'm going to tell you about how my second daughter Sarah was born and how I finally got settled in Germany. Thank you to all the people who subscribe to our channel. Keep it up, continue to do so. Subscribe, share, like and comment below. So today I'm going to tell you some more about me settling in Germany. I was lucky because of the help of my friend, my Turkish friend. I found this nice flat. It had like a big bedroom, it had a nice living room and an extra room for the children, a nice kitchen, it was really big, and a bathroom. And the best of all, it had this wonderful, great, huge terrace. So in the summertime, this was just awesome. And it was good for the kids to play. So this was really a good get, you know. And the family was really nice too. It was a Turkish family. Beside us, there lived this nice lady with her husband. She had 3 children. One of them in about Crystal age, like, you know, so she had children to play with, going to the playgrounds or playing outside, so she had some contacts and didn't feel all that lonely, right? So that was really nice. So the only thing that feel weird in the beginning was that I had my mom's furniture there, which was nice in some way, but somehow it did really feel weird because they had so much memories for me. But still I was very lucky to get them. The people who did move in the house where we used to live was also a Turkish family, very nice and kind, and they told me I could come back anytime I feel like, if you want to, you know, if I want to look around the house or freshen up some memories or whatever. And I really found that nice, even though I never did went back until years after, like. And that was nice. So I got settled in pretty much. I didn't work because it's quite hard in Germany when you're pregnant to find a job and thing like, because nobody don't really employ you. So I was a stay-at-home mom. Soon then after that I enrolled Chrissy in a kindergarten because I thought it would be a fantastic idea for her to learn German pretty fast and meet more children. And that was the best thing we could have done because Chrissy was so excited. Even from the first day, she never cried or anything. She was so happy to go there, like, and it was just something she really enjoyed doing. First couple of times I carried her to the kindergarten, picked her up, but later she did that on herself, on her own. And it wasn't really far away, like, and it was just a small village and it was quite safe there. So that turned out pretty well. So of course we were pretty homesick. Chrissy and I, we missed her father very much, and it took, or it seems like the longest while until we finally got the first letter, which was like about a month later after we left Jamaica. And I was so happy to finally get a letter. And just like my Canadian friend promised, she went to every single court case and sort of held his hand there so he wouldn't be alone, and so she kept her promise, so God bless her heart. Yeah, and then after that he wrote quite regular, which is quite something because he wasn't the type of person who really write letters, you know, but he actually did that and I really did appreciate it. So we could stay in touch and sometimes we talked on the phone, and so we just, you know. Yeah, the doctors was a total different story because I was already 32 years old. He treated me like I was a grandma, like 60 plus or something, you know, late births thing, and I had to do all kind of examinations and checkups and testings, and he was really something. But everything was alright. With the baby, and I was feeling well. The only thing was my belly was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, I did feel like a elephant, you know, my first pregnancy, so I was gigantic. So this time was no difference. So it was the time of the year when in Germany it was starting getting cold, winter was coming, and it's definitely not my favorite time in Germany. I like winter in Jamaica, but not in Germany when it's so cold and eventually it even snows, and I'm not a friend of that, trust me. There was due date was in December, sorry, and so I already started packing my bag for the hospital and things like, sort of got ready. So she had time, she had all the time in the world. Also she decided to come 1 week late while Chrissy was 1 week early. Yeah, it was really something else. I remember I had this really weird dream, and in my dream I held a baby in my arms, and that baby was full of curly hair, and it was really pitch dark, the hair, full of curls and really plenty. And if you remember the video when I told you about when Chrissy was born, she didn't have much hair, and so, you know, so I was thinking, this could not be Sarah, no way. So I remember it was a Sunday night, 3 o'clock, and while I'm saying this, I just realized also Chrissy sort of started with 3 o'clock when the water broke also, so I don't know, maybe I have a thing with 3 o'clock, right guys? And I started feeling the pain, but I knew this time I had some experience, right? At least one time experience, and I knew it would still take a little while. So I kept quiet, trying not to wake up Chrissy. 5 o'clock came, I went down to the neighbors and I told them, you know, I have to go to the hospital. They promised me to take care of Krista, and she could sleep there with them and everything was okay. I called the ambulance, and I carried down Chrissy. So she was quite upset and didn't really know what's happening here, and I really felt bad for her to just leave her like that, you know, but what can I do? So the ambulance came, 2 really nice guys, told me to lay down and rest, and they were so sweet. So they carried me to the nearest hospital, which was about a 20 minutes drive. It wasn't too far away, and while I reached there, they took me to this extra room, you know, put me through all the machines and stuff and see how far the contractions were. And then in came this nice midwife, this very friendly, loving person. She was so nice. I just love her from the first sight, you know what I mean? And I felt well taken care of. Only this time I really was a coward, I have to tell you. Because knowing what was about to come, it's getting worse, right? So I said I definitely want an injection for the pain this time. I really was so coward. And she gave me the injection, and after that everything just changed. I don't know. In a second time, the entire room was full of people, doctors, nurses, I don't know who. And I was like, so what's wrong? Something wrong with my baby? What's happening here? It's like nobody didn't talk to me. And they took me to the emergency room to have an operation, obviously, like a cesarean section. And they knocked me out. I didn't know much. I mean, I only remember when I woke up also, I was in a lot of pain. And I felt very drowsy, and somebody carried the baby to me, and people believe you me also, she just looked exactly like in my dream. Whole lot of black curly hair, also, I mean, this was something I will never forget in my life. She just looked like it, believe you me. And a little short while after that, a doctor came, and about the green and blue spot, she had the same thing like Chrissy when she was born, you know. If you watch the video, remember to watch it again, or who don't know the video yet, just take a look and you will know what I'm talking about. And the doctor said they have to take her to a special clinic for children in Heidelberg right away. I mean, and I was saying also, this is nothing special, this is normal, and so don't worry about it, you know, and he said, So they took 3 pictures from her with an instant camera, and she was gone. I couldn't sleep the entire night. I was so worried, and I was with like 2 or 3 other women in this big room, and I felt so restless. I mean, I don't know. I looked at the 3 pictures of my baby who was gone, and remember next day in the afternoon she finally came. I was so relieved. Of course nothing was wrong with her, and I was really so happy, believe you me. And yeah, something really weird happened. And after that, one doctor came to me and said he wished I would take an HIV test, because this was an emergency operation. They didn't really have much time of anything, like, and it seems like they just used their bare hands, no gloves, no nothing like on me. And he said there was a pool of blood, and you know. So I was thinking to myself, so what happened to me? Also, you there with your hands all over me, like, also what happened if you have AIDS? So I took a test, and of course it was negative, like, you know. And but still, just because I come from Jamaica and I used to live there, so I mean, hello, I find that pretty weird. Then the Turkish family came to visit together with Chrissy. Chrissy did look so lost, people. I mean, this little thing there, so yes, she was 5 years old, like, you know, but she oh my God. And when she sees Sarah, like, also she only was so little, you know, she's so small. And, you know, so I felt like, my God, I have to go home right now or something, you know, I can't leave her any longer alone. Because they wanted me to stay for 2 weeks. And hell no, I'm not going to stay 2 weeks in hospital no matter what. So after they visited me, my new neighbor came. He just moved in a few weeks ago, and we got along pretty well, like he was a cool guy. And I begged him, I said, please, can you pick me up tomorrow? And I need to go home. I need to get out of here. And he said, oh yeah, I will do that. And lucky me, he came. The doctor was totally like, oh no, you can't do that. You need to stay here 2 weeks for your own safety and thing like. And I was like, hell no. So I signed the papers that I'm leaving on my own risk. And he picked me up and I left. Yes. So I came home with my baby. And she was sleeping, you know, when I came home, and she slept for at least 1 or 2 more hours, like, and I had some time to spend with Chrissy, who was so happy that I was back home, like, you know, and yeah, that was really nice. So now I had 2 girls. So I remember when I was smaller, I always used to say, when I'm 32, I want to have 2 children, I want to have girls, and I want them to be twins. So everything worked out fine, except for the twin parts, right? But who cares? I have my 2 girls, the best thing ever happened to me in my entire life, and I'm so proud of them. Oh, but I totally forgot to tell you also, which was really something else, the nurses were so excited over the baby. They told me themselves that they're actually fighting over who's taking care of Sarah, because they said she was so pretty and so cute and she didn't give no trouble. She hardly don't ever cry, like, and I really did find this very nice. Also, what I just remember is there was this one guy in hospital, I only met him once, and he told me, oh, you are this lady, because I was in the operating room also, and I was supposed to have my operation. All of a sudden they just carried me out again, and in they put you, you know. But I'm glad you're alright and the baby is safe and everything turned out well, like, you know, because this was an emergency cesarean section. The placenta somehow got loose. I don't know the real term how you call this, but it's very life-threatening to mother and child. And thanks to this midwife and her fast reaction, they saved our life. So God bless her. She came a few times home and checked on the baby and me, you know, and I saw a few more times, like, and she was so lovely. I felt sad because my baby father wasn't there, of course. I asked him one time what we should name her, and all he said was, oh, I leave it to you. you know. And I always wanted to have a name what you can say in English and in German, you know, and that's how somehow I came up with Sarah and Crystal, because in each language you can pronounce them quite well. So guys, this was the story of today. Hope you enjoyed it. Next time I will tell you how my boyfriend finally get to come to Germany. And I also will tell you how I met my ex-husband, which was quite something else. So guys, thank you for watching. Right? Take care of yourself. Remember to subscribe, share, like and comment below. Bye bye.